This is the news review segment on Breakfast Daily, which is live on ChannelOne television. I have three strong gentlemen in the studio this morning. I'll do a quick introduction and we'll begin our business for today. Larry Dogbey is the managing editor of the Herald newspaper. Larry, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you. Good to have you. Alhaji Kamal-Deen Abdallah is a Deputy National Communications Officer for the New Patriotic Party, NPP. Alhaji, good to see you.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Welcome. Very well, thank you. Very well, thank you. And then we have Abdul-Fatawu Al-Hassan. He's the Member of Parliament for the good people of Yendi. Honorable, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning and good morning to my senior colleagues and good morning to your cherished viewers.
Apparently, this morning you look more of a CJ-ish than MP-ish.
Don't go with Kamal-Deen on this.
Viewers, I didn't say anything. I'm surprised my council is drawing me into their conversation. Anyway,
but I think it fits all three parts. If we should put him there as council, he looks the part.
Decided to
as MP, he looks the part.
He wants to adore and acknowledge and, of course, celebrate the profession he belongs to.
In a week.
Okay, maybe that's a short fall.
Very well. On that note, let's start from there. Parliament and of course the vetting of the Chief Justice nominee Paul Bafo-Boni. It did not come without drama, as even the preliminary statement which was being made by the minority leader, the Osahi Alexander Fenyomakin, was, if you like, met with some opposition or objections by the majority leader Mahama Yariga and others on his side of the house. Subsequently, the minority decided to walk out, having stated their position. Right from last week Friday, we knew what their position was. They made attempts to have the process stalled, but the speaker dismissed that motion. And yesterday, they read out their statements and then walked out. We'll deal with that before we go into some of the issues as mentioned by the CJ. If you like, current situations with our judiciary, reforms, and of course current trends in there. So let me start from the parliamentarian. Yeah.
He's the man in the corner.
We witnessed the one-sided vetting.
And the alien.
The alien, no.
And the alien, yes.
We witnessed the one-sided vetting of the Chief Justice nominee. General observations first before we go into the details of some of the questions that were asked and the responses that came through. So, Honorable,
thank you so much, and then thank you to everyone, and good morning to the viewers of ChannelOne TV, and good morning to the good people of END. Well, let me start by saying I this morning want to dove my heart out for the majority leader of Ghana's parliament, Honorable Mahama Yariga. In fact, yesterday's session was one that actually made every one of us so proud of him. In fact, we are so proud to have him as our leader. You see, the minority leader has a penchant for always using all means possible to make any point he wants to make, regardless of the rules. And you see, we are lawyers, and as lawyers, the most important thing you should know is that you can say anything you want, but you have to know where and when to say it. So that was the government of the whole drama at the vetting yesterday. It was not about what he was saying, but it was where and when he was saying it. That is why, if you realize it, the majority of them made a point that if he went out with his colleagues and brought all the media to himself and made all manner of disparaging remarks, nobody will question him. But we were sitting as a wing of parliament, and we are guided by rules. And trust me, the minority leader is one person that you can never be when it comes to understanding of the rules. He knows the rules in and out. And so he knew what he was doing. You see, this whole issue started, like you said, on Thursday, when the motion was filed. It was a substantive motion. Listen to the drama there. Even the Thursday motion, he was not allowed to, he was not supposed to move it. The motion was filed, and per the rules, the speaker has to admit it before you are allowed to move it. It was filed, And it was declared as inadmissible. But what gave him the opportunity to move it was because the one who declined the admissibility of that motion did not preside at the very moment that he raised it.
Okay.
So he got up. There were the business statement, the business for the week. Usually, the business committee presents the business for the week, and it is presented by the chairman of the business committee, which is the majority leader. So he read the business for the week, and so he saw a fine opportunity, even though the motion had been declined, and he was not allowed to move that motion, but he used comments on the business statement or the business for the week as another avenue to still argue the motion that had been filed and had been declined. So like I said,
he had prepared his arguments.
yes, but you see, it's been declined.
Yeah.
The speaker said this motion is not admissible, and once something, in fact, in court, once something is inadmissible, you can't even go into the substance.
Right.
So there was no basis for him to even argue on the motion in Parliament. But you see, when a business statement is presented, all members are allowed to make comments. And so he saw that even though my motion has been dismissed, has not been admitted, I'll still argue the motion regardless of the avenue or the route I'll use. So he used the opportunity to comment on the business statement, because the business statement had the same issue in it.
Indeed. The vetting of the CJ.
So he used that as an avenue to still argue his motion. And that was how he outsmarted the whole process. So he came back and argued the same motion that had been declined. That was what prompted, in fact, and usually when even the speaker himself is not in Parliament, he's not sitting.
Yeah.
And he's around. He's mostly watching proceedings. So he quickly sent an emissary to the first deputy speaker who was presiding to tell him that he wanted to come and then make a statement on the issues that were happening. And so that was what brought Speaker into the Parliament. If you realize it, when Speaker came to the Parliament, that was the basis of his coming there. So he came there and then went back to direct all that had happened and said that the statement, that motion had been declared as inadmissible. And so there was even no basis to argue on it. So we didn't even go into the substance. And he said, when he argued it using the avenue of the business statements,
the opportunity to comment on the business statements.
There were comments from both sides on that motion. Even though we can't call it a motion because it was not presented as a motion. It was presented as grand commentary on the business statement for the week. But the first deputy speaker, who was presiding, gave a ruling on it.
Right.
Because it was, you can't call it a ruling because even the minority leader said he was not asking for a ruling on it.
Yes.
But he still went ahead and made his final remarks on it. The ruling eventually came when Speaker himself came to the chamber. And Speaker said this has been declared as inadmissible. So that's rough. Ended the matter. You see, if you wanted to raise the matter, then you should have raised it in Parliament, in the plenary, because you could have come here to raise it. But because once you raise it and it's been determined by the Speaker as inadmissible, it is inadmissible everywhere in Parliament. And when the committee is sitting, it's sitting as an extension of Parliament.
Okay.
And so there he comes again, seeing that this is another avenue to still come back with his motion. And some of these motions, if you see the words in them, because it is to attack whatever had happened at the Justice Puaman Committee, which saw to the removal of the Chief Justice. So he had prepared his, and he wants to use every means possible to read whatever he had prepared. And so he saw it as an avenue. And that was why the majority leader sought to protect. Because you see, once it's been decided by Parliament, Speaker said it's inadmissible, you can't come here and want us to talk about that issue. Yes, you have the opportunity to make preliminary remarks before proceedings actually start. But that does not give you an unfettered avenue or opportunity to say whatever you want. Especially when that matter had been decided. And see, when he was even arguing in Parliament, he made reference to certain judicial decisions, certain precedents which supported him. But the latest one, he left it out. The latest judicial decision on these matters, whether a matter before Parliament and before the judiciary, the court, can be a subject for discussion in Parliament. The latest decision is the Vincent Ekosafwa versus the Attorney General. That is the latest.
What's the decision on that?
So I'm coming to it. You understand? It has to do with, one, it was seeking to restrain the president from proceeding with the commendation from the Council of State on the issue of the removal of the Chief Justice.
Yes.
And then he was also trying to restrain the Council of State. And so the president cannot go ahead and form the committee based on the finding of a prima facie case against the former CJ. But you see, there had been a precedent in Ghana where usually people rush to court and then file certain motions, file injunctions, and even by the mere filing of the injunction, it acts as a stay. But in court, we have all used it. My clients have been cited for contempt. I have had clients who have been cited for contempt on the basis of the fact that there was an injunction filed. That injunction had not been determined, and they went ahead and were working. Such matters, they have been duly dealt with in court. But you see, the Visa Safo case made a distinction between such general matters and matters that have to do with constitutional imperatives. So, for instance, when a constitution gives you a mandate as a president, when there's a prima facie that has been determined by a Council of State, you go ahead and form a committee, or if you like a commission, if you understand. That is given to you by the Constitution. Now, the question is, Parliament, we are told, is an arm of the state. Executive is one arm, judiciary is one arm.
Legislature is the other.
Legislature is one. Now, are we now saying that when Parliament is considering something and I want to stop it, I want to stultify the work of Parliament, I can rush to court and just file a proceeding. Remember, filing a proceeding is not the same as an order of the court, because it has to take the court to sit on that procedure that has been filed for an order to be made. Now, are we saying that before even the order is made, whether the order will even be made positively or negatively, the processes in Parliament must stop? That is a bigger question. In that case, even governance cannot go. Because remember,
can this be likened to the declaration of seats vacant by Speaker Dogbey in the 8th Parliament?
So that was a ruling by who? The Speaker.
The Speaker.
But there has been a recent ruling by which one?
The court.
The court. So when you have a ruling from Parliament contradicting a ruling
from the court,
which one supersedes? Because Parliament does not. It's the court makes final orders. That is why
the court makes the final.
You understand? So the most recent one is the one from Visa Safo. You understand?
Yeah.
Which supersedes what the Speaker had, because the Speaker's ruling had been declared as a nullity.
Yeah.
You understand? So you don't go back to that ruling to now form the basis of your current motion or application, because in the eye of everyone, that ruling can no longer stand.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And especially if you look at, in fact, if you look at J.H. Mensah versus the Attorney General, which happened in 1996, when Rawlings said that late, because he had ministers coming from 1993 to 1994 elections. You understand? And these ministers had been vetted in 1993, which gave them the opportunity to be ministers. Once he won the elections and he's maintaining some of them as ministers, they didn't have to go through vetting again. And J.H. Mensah went to court and said that no, this cannot be the case. The Constitution says the ministers who have been nominated must come to vetting for approval. They must come before Parliament for approval. And so the fact that they were once ministers and they came before us does not mean that anytime they have been nominated, it's a fresh nomination.
Yeah.
And then you see, J.H. Mensah added another relief. He gave the rundown of how the process should go in Parliament. But that's what most people don't get. So the Supreme Court upheld his major relief, which was to the effect that the people, even though they have been renominated, have to still go through the process again. But they gave a caveat. They said that as for the process you have mentioned, they have to do this, Parliament has to do this. The Supreme Court said, no, we cannot have a hand in how Parliament will go about the vetting. Parliament can even just come out and say that they can just sit 1 minute and say we have vetted them. After the process, we can question the process. But the act itself can be questioned.
Okay.
You understand? And so go through the process. The outcome, when it comes out, you can come to court and we'll make a determination of the outcome. But as to how Parliament should go about its business, we as Supreme Court, we cannot go into it. And that was what the was.
That's some good education there. But let me hear from Alaji on this matter, and then I'll pick Larry's thoughts as well.
Thank you so much, and Larry, good morning to my brother Fatawu. It's interesting. From a layman point of view, I will say this. The laymen rather make the laws.
You are not a layman. you are more than a layman.
You want to change the man's portfolio.
From the layman point of view, I will say
a diplomatic,
I will still say that the laymen help make the laws, because the lawyers always say that what the reasonable man says is the law, is what it is. You see, the matter before us has to do with constitutional fidelity. Fidelity to the law as well, the growth of our democracy, and how important it is to handle matters in that regard. The matter is there a case pending in our courts and other courts, okay, that indeed is seeking to say that a chief justice, properly so called, has been removed. She thinks that my right actually has been trampled upon. She thinks that no, justice wasn't served, therefore let's go to the forum that serves justice and file same cases, okay, in order for the justice that she's demanding to be served here or otherwise. Matter is, do we have legal processes filed before even the settlement, before even the appointment? And the question here is yes. Now, what my brother seek to say and then give this idea of Vincent as a first case. If you read, I read an article written by one of your brothers, your colleagues here, Sky. An excellent article. Excellent piece. You should read it. Sky says, look, let us not narrow the scope of what the Supreme Court said about Vincent Assefa. And clearly, Sky makes the argument that, look, prudence ought to be looked at as well in applying whatever the Supreme Court has pronounced upon. What is he saying? If you look at Vincent Assefa, which my brother rightly cited, it says that when a matter of constitution is supposed to be acted upon by the executive or whatever is any arm of government, and somebody rushes to court to file or to seek an injunction, he may not be granted that. But this is a different matter. Why am I saying it's a different matter? Do we have pending cases already? You see, this is for the purposes of our education. Of course, decisions have been taken already. But for the purpose of our education, I'm saying that we have pending cases already. It's not a matter of somebody rushing to say, because this is going to be done, let me go and seek for injunction. The Supreme Court says, no, you can't do that to thwart the efforts of the one who is supposed to act accordingly.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
However, if there are pending cases, what minority raised was that, look, this is not somebody filing anything. There's our legal issues around us. And once those legal issues are not yet determined and pronounced upon, we think that we are jumping the gun to do a vetting. The Speaker thinks otherwise and say, no, let's go ahead.
Does the cases pending in court,
Yes.
does it in any way, on grounds of the Constitution, bar Parliament from doing its work?
Yeah, there are those who have made the argument that once a warrant has actually been signed by the president, then you cannot question it again. Others say that, look, it can be questioned because if the procedural impropriety is established, that is why I'm saying it's an education. Let's wait to see whether or not that procedural impropriety will be upheld, okay, by the court or will be thrown out. Find out. If it's thrown out, we all move on. It's an education.
Who is testing the procedure?
Who is testing the procedure? The one who feels he has been affected. The Chief Justice that we had. I had a problem. We had a Chief Justice who was removed. We had an acting Chief Justice. Per the Constitution, Article 146 is there. 144 Clause 6 clearly says that someone should act in his stead. So why the rush? If the person is acting and there are pending legal issues, why can't we exhaust those pending legal issues and then move on as a people? As simple as that. So in principle, we were saying that, look, the minority said that, look, let us have these pending issues moved out. Then at the end of the day, you can go ahead and do what? But the president, of course, the law sometimes, held the majority.
You want to call it an ass?
Yeah. So try to do what you want to do.
Oh no, an ass as in a donkey.
Yes.
I get it.
So you see, this matter, in principle, we in MPP thought that the matter should have come to its logical conclusion, and then, of course, Parliament would trigger whatever. A president would now do his appointment, and then Parliament would trigger the vetting process, and then we can move on. But hey, it has been decided on. Let's move on. But let me move on to the next important matter I felt we should all be worried about. I chanced on something yesterday when I was listening to the vetting process, and I was actually appalled. I was not happy.
Which one is this?
Just read, let me read the judicial oath to you, and you understand why I was appalled. And I believe many out there would actually not be happy with what happened. This is our Chief Justice, who is supposed to swear an oath. And the oath reads, I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of the Republic of Ghana, and that I will truly and faithfully perform the functions of my office without fear, emphasis on fear. Let's underline fear. Without fear or favor, affection or ill will.
You know where this is going?
Yeah, or ill will. I will at all times uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Ghana. And the judge who is supposed to be at the helm of affairs of the judicial system of our country says that I had, as a young man, as a judge, I have to give somebody 70 years because I'm afraid of death. I fear to die. When he comes out, he will attack me and my family. Really?
That's the Constitution.
I was surprised. To be honest with you, that was very low. With a great respect to our father. But that was very low. Your own judicial oath tells you to ensure that you do your work within the tenets of the law. And you tell me that for fear, you gave somebody 70 years because you didn't want to give 30 years and he will come and attack your family. Why were you doing something wrong?
But per the gravity of the crime was the 70 years not within that remedy.
That is what I'm saying. The ratio, the reason he has given is fault. Is actually it falls flat. Trust me. And he's a lawyer. He's here. The reason he has given, and if the fear, emphasis here. Look, Justice Pega said something. He said the bench is not for timorous souls.
Okay.
He was referring to Kamal-Deen, who said it some time ago. And Justice Pega interpreted here. The bench is not for timorous souls. And a timorous soul is our Chief Justice? Really? Is that what is going to happen? Is that the inference? I was surprised. Nobody wants to countenance this illegal behavior of armed robbery or whatever. So if, of course, the law says sentence. But don't come and tell me because it's your family, you and your family. Really? How about your kids and your grandchildren who are growing up?
So how many people have received maximum sentences out of fear?
Out of fear. So that's a good question. So it means some judges go to sit there and because the law is in their bosom, they go ahead, maybe because of I'm afraid, I don't know what happened. Look, that is a serious matter. And I think that was actually an angle our father should not have gone at all. Because legal luminaries will actually hold him for what he did. The next one, the political innuendos that we see gradually creeping into our judicial system is dangerous. I said it here some time ago. That look, we may not see it now, but trust me, our NDC MPP politics is gradually going to jeopardize our judicial system. I never expected my brother to come and sit here and then speak against certain principles that his party has stood on. The same way he will not expect me to speak against certain principles that my party has stood on. But the danger is that...
But Kamal,
yes.
I mean, yes. We have a former MPP parliamentary candidate, Justice Gau.
Yeah.
No, not Joe. Gau.
Yeah.
Who is a Supreme Court judge as we speak, nominated by, President Akufo-Addo.
So don't go far. Justice Atuguba stood as a parliamentary candidate in the 60s. That didn't stop him from becoming a justice. Justice Atuguba,
no. On which party?
Well,
In the 60s and in recent times.
No, I'm making the argument of politics. There are nothing stop them from being politicians. I mean,
No, I said MPP, NDC,
No.
partisan, whatever is creeping into.
As we speak, look, John Mahama said that the courts were packed with MPP judges, and that when he comes, he will make sure he also bring NDC judges to balance it.
But that was a fact.
No, he made that comment.
Right.
That is a comment that he made.
Yeah.
You see, because you raised this matter that there's an MPP judge, I'm trying to tell that.
No, I never said there's an MPP judge. I never said that. No, I never said there's an MPP judge. I said that MPP parliamentary candidate.
You chose your words well, but now I am interpreting what you said.
So those are your words.
In fairness, I'm telling you that there's an MPP person who's a judge.
No, so those are your words.
I am saying that equally we have NDC people, known NDC people, also who are judges. That happens, but that's why I'm making a point that if we are not careful,
this guy who used to teach at Legon. He became the deputy chief executive for Ghana Standard Board. He's at the Court of Appeal.
Yes, I'm saying.
Yeah, he used to write on Eduse. They used to. I mean, there was a whole
no problem.
That used to write on Facebook, social media, debating everything.
Larry, I am
suddenly,
saying that
they became so independent.
Political affiliation or party affiliation
anyway.
does not debar you from becoming a judge. What actually you are expected to do is to go by the oath, the judicial oath that you have sworn to.
Right. Okay.
That's what the point I'm making. So this point of somebody being MPP or not. So the last point I was making was that the danger posed us today is the gradual system of going to politicize our judicial system. And that is the only place we can seek remedy and seek redress if we are affected by people. So the danger will be that, look, if we put political coloration to it, to the extent that we are going to have 24-hour justice delivery, even the christening of the 24-hour alone, juxtaposing it to the 24-hour slogan, tells you that some politics is very here.
But he says this is something that has been cut off
24-hour
and weekend courts.
We were told by the campaign of 24-hour economy, 24-hour banking, 24-hour three. Today the chief justice telling me that 24-hour justice delivery will be there. It's a slogan.
Would you not agree that based on the caseload, the existing caseload, a 24-hour court will help us?
Oh, so 3 a.m. course will be sitting. 2 a.m.
Do you remember?
Judges will come in.
You remember
changing judges?
You remember what? Do you remember Dami? Opuni was prosecuted at the point in time they were doing it on a daily basis. Jachi Kwesi on a daily basis.
It's not 24 hours.
Daily
basis is not 24 hours.
Well, I'm not. You were talking about the excuse given at the time was that justice delayed is justice denied, and that the process had to be expedited.
So that's why 24-hour justice delivery.
That is what the man is saying.
I'm talking about slogan area.
So you're fighting about slogan.
Thank you. Anyway, finally, I thank you, but I think that yes, it was a process, and like I said, it's a learning curve. All of us will learn. All that has happened now, all that we have to be cautioning ourselves. Sometimes it is important and imperative we listen to dissenting views. I have realized that he is a lawyer, and most of them read cases from judgment from courts, and those judgments sometimes there's so much wisdom in dissenting. So the minorities principle that we took and dissented, I believe we may not see it today, but tomorrow we will come to appreciate the principle that the minority actually have stood on.
Thank you, Alhaji. Act of the committee, the vetting itself.
Good morning to my colleagues here and then our viewers. I think that yesterday for me I felt sad, and for our democracy and how we are going with it. Okay, I felt sad. See, we keep joking. And we keep joking. When people don't see their way around things, they will resort to so many other things. We have become so robotic and very predictable. It was clear. The signs were on the wall as to what was going to happen.
Everything.
We are becoming a laughing stock.
Seriously. Seriously, I agree with him.
We are becoming a laughing stock. Listen, people are good. Countries are merging whatever is happening, in the policy space together with research, and they are developing. Come on, where you were? Saudi Arabia, I'm lying. Listen, Saudi with oil and resources and so on, they are now thinking beyond the oil.
Yeah, of course, seriously. Tourism is what they are holding in high esteem.
Thank
now.
you.
Yeah.
What are we doing to ourselves? The dry politics, the dry bone politics. And people are getting hungry by the day. People are going to Galamsey pit in search of food. And by so doing, polluting our water bodies, destroying, our forest cover, and then the land, it's losing value. Last week we sat here, and then I told you about how, BBC was talking about our contombre being polluted, tomato being polluted, food stuff.
Everything
meaning that we are eating poison.
And we are reducing ourselves to NDC and PP only.
You
So
get it?
sad. So sad. It's so sad.
I mean, I'm getting, a bit uncomfortable by the assumption that some people feel they own the judiciary. Okay? And that when you touch it, you touch us. Okay? When you touch the judiciary, you touch us. Listen, was it Loretta or Loretta was removed, and this country didn't come to an end. She didn't fight it like the way we are having it. Charlotte Osei was equally removed. Listen, the next election, everybody participated. And again, she didn't fight it like the way we have here. Just when this whole thing was going on in Parliament yesterday, the back and forth and so on, the MPP issued a statement and talked about how, about 7, legal cases have been filed in Ghana as well as the ECOWAS court. By, Justice Tokono. Kamal, in all sincerity, do you think that even if all this thing goes well, Justice Tokono can come back and have the same,
But it doesn't stop her from testing the laws. True. For future. It does not. True. You see, she may not come back. She may not be doing it because she wants to come back. That is why I'm saying that, look, fidelity to the law of the Constitution is what we're talking about here. Now, if there's a lacuna or there's an opening that we do not solve and seek to redress today, tomorrow it comes to haunt us. Indeed. So maybe that is the reason why she's doing that. Okay.
So I recall,
she has the right.
I recall that Chachuchi Kata was jailed under the Kufuor administration. He was eventually pardoned. After the pardon, the man did say that, listen, I'm stopping all that whole process.
Chachuchi equally went to ECOWAS.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm even talking about here.
Yeah.
Where he went through the process, and eventually the courts that convicted him, or the Supreme Court then came out and said that, listen, his conviction was illegal or something. His conviction was illegal. Exactly. He went through the process. Can we have all these things running? Because the system can't stop. Can we have this thing running such that if indeed she was interested in vindication, or she's interested in vindication, at the end of all this, the court would come out and say that, listen, you have been vindicated, and that your removal was illegal. Can we have that process too? Because we can't stop. The country must run. The country must run. But this thing where, listen, today we are at each other's throats. I mean, what are we telling investors?
Well, yeah, that's a good question.
What are we telling investors? I mean, yesterday, nomination of Chief Justice, had gone through the process, vetting and so on. I mean, the whole, country's attention was there. Yeah. International community was also monitoring as to what is happening. How are, we going to handle all this again? I mean, what is the quality of the man that is being put there as the head of the judiciary? So he might have spent 17 years, at the Supreme Court. He might have started from the circuit court all the way to wherever he's gotten to. However, this is a different, position that he's being put. And people would want to hear whatever he's bringing to the table. I think that we missed a very good opportunity with the absence of the minority. not questioning, you know, Justice Bafuboni.
Yeah.
I'm sure, listen, if you talk to individual members of the minority, they will have various views as to whether or not it was appropriate for them to walk out.
For me, I think it was appropriate. If you have a principle, stand by the principle.
They deny Ghanaians the benefit of...
If you wanted to do the right
but you see, a lot more could have been extracted. But you see, you are walking away from the man's vetting. But eventually, lawyers, you go to the man's court.
Oh, but the law is not for him alone. He's a judge. That's why that's where
I'm saying that. Listen,
doesn't matter.
Listen. I mean, the guys have been saying that what
does that mean?
Okay, it means that if you don't agree with Kwenye, I mean, Kwenye is, let's say, a lady who sells cocoa or something, you know. Okay. So Kwe's mother.
Yeah.
So if you don't agree with Kwe's mother, if you don't agree with Kwe's mother, you don't buy her cocoa.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay. Okay.
You get.
But in this case, you have no choice.
Because you go. It's not.
In this case, the Kwe's
right.
So you would have stayed away. But here you are. You go back to the same person. The beauty of it is in all this is this. That listen. Years ago, I was working on some story, and then somebody called me and asked me, do you have any friends at all? That this country, we are all related in one way or the other. We either, we are either cousins, and the Ashantis have a very beautiful way of doing it, where you are from the same stock, but your names are different.
Yeah.
So they are able to hide everywhere. You get what I'm saying? But I mean, you are related, you are cousins, or you are even, let's say, you support the same football team, or you went to the same, secondary school, or you even went to the same university. And so it's as beautiful as that. I'm sure if Justice Paul Bafuboni will want to tell you his relationship with Afenyo Markins, you'll be shocked.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. But that's why I say it was principle, not about him.
You get it?
It's based on principle, not about him.
So I mean, we
even heard Afenyo make reference to Justice Puaman and the fact that he voted for him and all.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. So I mean, relationship cuts across. So sometimes when we are doing some of these things, we need to choose our words carefully. We need to manage it because tomorrow is pregnant.
True.
Tomorrow is pregnant, and I think that we are one people. But I mean, the acrimony. It's just too much. These same people would exhibit all that they exhibited there yesterday. Tomorrow morning, you will see them breaking bread.
True. Especially when it comes to their salaries.
And buying cars.
They are very, for their emoluments, they
don't joke with them.
They are always on the same page.
How are you able?
We understand some next gracia has been paid. Some people are waiting for theirs.
Very well. So how are you able to unite around a common, objective? But the national interest, we don't get the same commitment.
We put so much politics in it,
You get it? I mean, it's becoming, the haggling is just too much for everybody to bear. Okay? I mean, to a point where even these days, you have brothers who have divided themselves, between political parties. Do you understand? One is here, and then the other one is there. When this party is in office, the family will enjoy. When the other party is in office, the family will enjoy. And they being smarter than everybody.
Well,
okay, and then where is the national interest in between that?
But no two humans are the same. Perhaps they believe in different ideologies.
Okay, I want to believe so.
I mean, it's possible.
Anyway, so I wanted to respond to a few things.
I want to believe.
What have I said that you want to respond to?
I want to believe that
Honorable, we'll give you the opportunity. Let's have that.
I want to believe that that is really the case. That this is purely, principle driven.
Yeah.
But you see, there is somebody within your party who is not talking. Who is the director for your legal?
Gary Nimako.
Gary.
Ask Gary Nimako why he's not talking about the removal of Tokono.
Justice Tokono.
Why must he talk?
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
where from?
Is that something you know that he has to say?
Listen, there are things.
Whatever party position we bring,
Gary, do you know what? I'm coming.
with it.
I was watching carefully. You know the statement they issued yesterday, and guess who signed it? Justin Kodua, not Gary Nima.
No, it's not
Yes.
Gary.
It's a general secretary.
It's a general
who
secretary.
signed it.
No, I'm saying that Gary hasn't even spoken publicly about
but
this particular matter.
Gary supports
he should
the
speak.
statement. No, he
Gary
supports
should
the
speak.
statement.
Why should Gary speak?
Gary should speak.
Why?
Maybe he knows what
Gary should speak.
For all you know,
Gary is not talking because there's a
An
reason.
advisor at the time of the speech writing.
Oh, come on.
For all you know, as a director of media, consultant.
Go and tell Gary.
So yeah, go and tell Gary to speak. Tell Gary to speak.
No, this mischief will not pass.
No, it is not me. Go and tell Gary
I
to
know,
speak.
Larry. Look, this mischief will not pass.
I'm saying
he won't
Gary
tell
is-
you what he wants to say, but he's just telling you something.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that Gary supports the statement of the
I'm
party.
saying
He
that-
supports our
no,
principles.
Gary should
And
speak.
he's a lawyer of many
Gary
years
should
of practice,
speak.
so he knows better
Come on.
when to
Yes.
speak and how
Gary
to
should
speak,
speak.
and when not to speak.
Why?
So let's
No,
leave it at that.
NDC
No,
Let's
Gary
leave-
should speak.
Let's leave it at that.
Listen,
Let's leave it at that.
Heretofore.
He knows when to say
No,
what to
listen.
say, how to say it.
No, that-
So
no,
I'm not
believe-
No,
okay.
he supports what we, the principle we are doing.
Yes,
He
yes.
supports
He
it.
doesn't necessarily have
So
to be
that
the
is-
one
no,
saying
he
that
must not
statement at all.
necessarily speak.
Heretofore, listen. Credit me with some, modicum of intelligence. I'm saying that they should tell Gary to speak.
Very well.
He's a journalist.
Very well.
They should tell Gary to speak.
I'm saying this.
Listen, I could mention some other names, but then I'm saying that Gary should
you
speak.
can't mention any other name. He is our director of
No,
media.
legal.
Constitution.
I'm saying that Gary
That's
should
enough.
speak.
Very well.
Gary should speak.
Very well.
Okay,
Come on.
I wanted to.
Here. I hear you.
I wanted to touch on just two issues. The issue of the without fear thing that senior raised.
The
here.
judicial
You
oath.
see, the judicial oath and the 70-year sentence on this guy Atai. You see, he may have used himself as an example. Maybe that is where people may draw certain conclusions as to.
That's my point. Even.
Yeah, but you see, even in handing down sentences, judges are supposed to consider, apart from the laid down principles,
The safety of the environment. That would have been okay. I know.
and then
But he said about
the
himself.
posture, like how people in the society see that particular crime. So, for instance, if you are living in a period where defilement is rife of young girls, is rife, as opposed to a period where you don't often hear about it. Handing sentences within those two periods, the number of years that will be given will differ. The same judge. In fact, somehow you can even have one with even much harsher facts. But the judge will be a bit lenient because that crime has not become the order of the day. But where you live in a time or in times where that crime has taken over the whole country and
Right.
everybody is talking, like for instance, Galamsey, as we have today, if a judge will get hold of you and he's going to hand down sentence on you, you'll be shocked that someone would have done worse things than you in the past and would have gotten much lenient sentencing than you because of the times we are living in.
Right.
And so if he had said, because if you look at the man, what the whole thing, the whole brouhaha about his arrest and how he tormented whole community and all those things, this is somebody who can hold thousands of people to ransom by his individual act. So if he said, by the time he returns, I'm gone, he may not only be talking about himself.
Oh, no.
No, you see,
You
sometimes
see where
somebody can be figurative.
Okay.
You can be figurative in your words. So maybe he's saying that if I should give him 30 years, given that the man was to say maybe the man was 25, 20 years or 30, 25 years. If I give him 30 years, you know, usually they don't serve the entire 30 years. Maybe he would have done 25 years. So he comes back at 50 years. He's still in the prime. You understand? So if he means bad, he can still cause more mayhem on people. But if I give him 70 years, obviously even if he returns alive, but he will be as weak as anything to be able to undertake the venture that he was undertaking.
Let me just strip this one with that. A judge will know that such a criminal will have his own operative still in town. And if indeed he means to exact vengeance, he could have irrespective of the 70 years.
The figurehead is always important. The figurehead is always important.
I'm surprised.
That's one issue. Let me conclude on my second issue.
Okay.
My second issue was to do with, you see, he also spoke about the fact that there are 7 cases pending. And then why didn't we wait for these cases to be concluded? You see, in determining fact, when you look at even injunction applications that we file, the courts are always minded, before they even grant you an injunction, they want to find out whether, if we don't even grant you this injunction, is there a way we can compensate you at the end of the case, even if you win? Or is it that you cannot be compensated at all, so you need this badly? If the court weighs the two, and they see that, this your action is compensatable, it's something they can pay you. So for instance, even we have people who have been wrongfully dismissed from their various positions at work, and they've gone to court. At the end of the determination, maybe several years down the line, we see hefty compensations being given to them to compensate them, because damage can be adequate. So the only time courts will not give you, or will give you that, is when they see that damages will not be adequate to compensate you. That we call irreparable damage. So if the damage is so irreparable that no matter how much they give you, it can. So you imagine, because of one individual's interest, anybody acting is not in the fullest capacity. So you can say that the acting Chief Justice should continue to act for whatever length of time that it will take these 7 cases.
Balance of convenience.
That is right. So the balance of convenience weighs strongly against it. They will look at the general interest. The general interest is for Ghana to have a full-fledged Chief Justice.
Substantive.
But if because of one person's individual interest, we should keep having acting Chief Justice who will tell you that I can't sign it because I'm only in an acting position.
The cases travel 5 years.
And mind you, he's not just empaneling judges to sit on cases. He drives policy as well.
Of course, there are certain he may not be able to do as acting.
You see,
exactly.
You understand? But he can do as well. That is the interest of the whole country as against the individual interest of one. So they weigh all these options and see where.
So if the former CJ can be compensated, then of course the processes should continue. Let's have a substantive.
She can be compensated.
And she understands this clearly.
She does.
You know.
Alaji, brief one and then
quick one, very brief. I think I'm surprised my brother had to bring or had to revisit this statement by the revered Chief Justice. Okay, yet to be sworn in though. The revered vetted nominee
On
Atai. I'm surprised he should have remained quiet on it. First of all, prisons are not meant.
You call the song Atai.
Don't say the other. First of all, prisons are not meant or not just meant to punish you. Prisons. That's why at the point we even contemplated on changing the name to correctional centers. Prisons is supposed to correct you.
Reformation.
Okay, for reformation. You see, to what extent was the judge convinced that the person I am even sentencing may not be reformed? That's one. That's why I think that it was quite unfortunate he made that statement. 2, he personalized the statement. If he had generalized it by saying that looking at the safety of public, for the sake of public interest and public safety, I thought that handing over 70 years, which is prescribed by law, okay, as a higher punishment, is right. None of us would have raised this point. But I'm saying that once you personalize it, and your judicial oath tells you, go and exhibit your work or do your work without fear or favor, emphasis on fear, then that was wrong.
I'm sure when the ruling was made, the reasoning has been recorded and it's in the record.
He has given you reason. He said the reason why he gave it was that he was afraid.
We know and understand that he has a very high sense of humor. So perhaps.
No, but beyond that, every crime comes with
it's prescribed.
Yes, prescribed. Okay, so I'm sure we can find
out. He was within the law. Half of 70 years he was within the law.
He was within the law.
I think the personalization
of saying that I'm afraid. But every sentence or every crime is prescribed. The punishment is prescribed. The penalties of whatever you go, whatever sentence is prescribed.
And the ruling is recorded.
My only problem is the reason I gave. My reason should have been for sake of public safety.
But his lawyers are around.
But to come and tell you that
his lawyers are around.
Oh no, but I'm sure the official reasoning has already been recorded as part of the ruling.
But his lawyers are around. So if there are any issue, I'm sure
that's not my fear. The head of our judicial system is telling you he's afraid. The head. This big head. I'm surprised.
Let me take a few quick messages. This one says, good morning. This is Abdul-Fatawu Mankarigu from the Savannah region. This man could have simply stated the severity of Atai's crimes cited the relevant laws, and used that to justify the length of the sentence. Instead, he relied on personal sentiments. It makes me wonder how many people are sitting in jail because a judge allowed personal opinions to influence their decisions. Are we really saying that sentencing now includes a judge's own assumptions, true or false, instead of following what the law prescribes? And people find this amusing. It's turning justice into theater. Imagine how many people he may have sentenced unfairly because he feared for his own safety. What exactly is funny about that? And for the record, he didn't avoid sentencing Atai because he was innocent. Atai was guilty. All right. Ahmed from Nima says, Ghana's Chief Justice position is now becoming more of an NDC and NPP gymnastic. Watching from afar, this is how one is likely to conclude. Very dangerous for our democracy. Good morning, Nana. Honorable Afenyo and his caucus are just executing what they promised to make this country ungovernable. Kojo from Peki sends that one in. The brouhaha that occurred at the vetting has overshadowed the good policy initiatives that the acting CJ seeks to undertake. My interest is the fact that he has in mind to make legal education very flexible. Big Boots from Tema sent that one in. Nana, good morning. Please, hope all is well. Please tell Mr. Larry that
Dogbey.
I like his submissions. He's very intelligent. My name is Agama from Teshi. Okay. This is from Mystic Wonder Avuko inside Nsawam Aduejiri. Boycotting parliamentary proceedings is in the genes of MPP. These same people boycotted parliament from 1992 to 1996, but Ghana didn't bend. So the micro minority can continue with their drama, but Ghana will progress. The NPP is simply suffering from leadership crisis, and the center cannot hold. Interesting times. Well, Alaji, we're expecting that government will make the findings of the unfortunate helicopter crash report public today. Yesterday, the committee led by the acting defense minister presented a report to the president. We expect that the findings will be made public today. Your quick expectations on this.
To begin with, let me continue by saying that I still commiserate with the families of the victims, and especially my good late friend Mutala, wherever his wife and the kids are. I will say that Allah gives and Allah takes. Yes, we are all waiting for that report, especially when we're told that the black box was found and a lot of analysis will be made, and when it comes out, it's not just, for me, it's for the public consumption, all right, but it is more importantly for our institutions, especially the defense ministry and also any institution that is supposed to see to procurement of aircrafts and procurement of equipment that the military will use or all of us will use. Maybe that is what is going to guide us. We don't know what actually the report is going to find. But whatever the findings may be and the recommendations will be, we should take it seriously. Anytime I'm going to Tamale and I sit on some of the aircrafts, I go like, wow, until Allah takes us. One day we're leaving Tamale, just at the point of taking off, then the pilot announced that he had a leakage in his tank and that he could not take off. We had to get back again, and all of us were disembarked from the aircraft. You see, it tells you that our aviation industry here must actually up their game. In terms of analysis, in terms of making sure that when proper, if you like,
the safety protocols
are supposed to be observed, they are really observed. Maintenance of the aircrafts, all those things, we shouldn't joke with it. I appreciate that we do not have much money to purchase fairly good aircrafts or new or lease fairly new aircraft, but we should make attempts to also up our game a bit. Some of the aircrafts we use, trust me, with the girl said they are death traps. You can go and see. I'm not to mention any company's name, but some aircrafts you sit on or before you board, you're just saying that, look, because I just want to go there in time. Otherwise, I am better off going to drive. And this report, after it's received and analyzed, please, we should look beyond the report. That's all I have to say on this, because we can't continue losing people, manpower that would help steer the affairs of this country, in this manner.
Very well, thank you. Just let me take a quick break. When I come back, I'll pick your thoughts on the helicopter crash report. But you can send your messages in. Keep sending them in. When we come back, we'll read them. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel One Television. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. This is the news review segment on Breakfast Daily live on Channel One Television. We're moving on, and we've dealt with the matter of the vetting of the nominated CJ. And now we're dealing with the matter of the report of the committee that looked into the unfortunate, tragic August 6 military helicopter crash. I want to come to you, Larry. We know that there are still families that are grieving. There's still the pain of the bizarre nature of the death. So how should this report be communicated in order to at least, one, give the family some closure and of course trigger some reforms to ensure that going forward we don't witness any such incidents?
Yeah, I want to believe that these are experts who are working on this, and that before this report will get to wherever it is now, clinical psychologists and all other experts have been deployed to talk to the family, okay, as to what exactly is the content or what led to this particular incident. I want to believe that. If that hasn't been done, that would be unfortunate, because for them to discover that, oh, this is what this person did, this person didn't do that, this person didn't do that, that is what led to this situation. I think that will be very, very devastating to the people, because I mean, how many months? Sometimes it feels as though it happened just 2 or 3 years ago, but it's just recently. It's just recently, and so I think that if that hasn't been done, quickly that should be done before even the report is put out there in the public domain. But having said that, there's something we need to look out for. I think Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has a certain role to play as far as what Kamal was talking about is concerned. That you can't just throw anything, you know, in the air.
Seriously?
Yeah, in the name of, you know, an aircraft.
Yeah.
We have been here before, where I think in the 2000s, where Tyrone, you remember Tyrone? Yeah, Tyrone, I think one of your colleagues, Ohui, Adusu's cousin, who was also involved in a similar accident. I mean, they were about, you know, landing around Kotoka, and then the plane crash landed. And he had to be amputated also in the process. Others, I think some passed in that incident. Very unfortunate. But since then, what had happened? Aviation accidents happen every now and then. But we can assume that the traffic on this road, particularly domestic flights, are, you know, quite negligible. And so we can't just assume that everything is okay. So one aircraft drops once in a while, it's enough. It's not.
It could have been prevented.
It could have been prevented because I mean, these are how many of them? Eight people who died with dependents. Okay, young children. Some had even 2 or 3 months babies and so on. These babies are going to grow up without their, you know, father. Others married less than a year, you know, they are gone. The Muntales, you know, the Omanis and all that. I mean, these are people who, you know, we grew up, you know, together, playing one, you know, thing or role or the other, and today they are nowhere. All that plan, all that they had, their parents is all gone. But if we can, you know, work on ourselves, and by working on ourselves, our roads is also one. Okay, because most people, because of the nature of the roads,
they resort to the flight.
They resort to the flight.
On a good road. On a good day, Kumasi should have been 2 hours drive.
True.
Good.
If you have a
exactly. It's even worse when they tell you that, you know, you can go through Hohwe, through to Yendi, and then connect to Tamale.
I drove from Jeddah to Riyadh, which is about 900 or something kilometers.
People would think what you are saying is in Tamale.
Yes.
In Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia. And you won't believe that. It was street lights from point point A to point Z.
Look at that.
Street lights, oh, this is about 970 kilometers.
You meet in a car.
You meet in a car.
Wow.
No, dual carriage.
Wow.
From Jeddah to Riyadh.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. So can't we think like this? Like you made the point earlier.
Yeah.
We are just trivializing everything to politics.
Yeah.
But the right actual work to do. Amasama is lying here. We came here and sat here and spoke about it. It's still there.
The promise an expressway.
It's serious.
You get it.
Really
So, I mean, imagine we can't, I mean, you had to go through, you're going to Yendi, and you have to use Kumase and Tamale before you connect. When you can easily go through Howe,
Yeah.
Dambai and then just connect, and you are home and dry. And you could also broadly open up the economy in that area as well.
Yeah.
Good road, shorter. I've used it, before, and so easy to access. But the nature of it, and we are haggling over Kumasi. The traffic on Kumasi, when you get to Nkoko and a trailer crosses the road, that's it. You are gone.
You can be packed till the
Yeah.
God knows when.
Yeah.
I mean, let's open up ourselves. You are too rigid. Let's open up. Let's try something else with our
I
lives.
still don't understand why we're not even developing our water transport.
You see,
Yeah.
that's also another one. That's also another one. The rail transport. Yeah, exactly. We have just
The Pakada one, you haven't heard what's been happening. Somebody is paying people 20 cedis to sabotage the whole thing. So if the train is coming, then children are throwing stones at it.
look at that. Look at that.
Yes.
And then we talk of Sky train.
The train. The Tamampaka down one.
Is that the
You
level
know,
of
it started shuttling through Temafienya and that route. They've started giving some
And then the railway
20
tracks.
cedis to throw stones at the train.
Wow.
That's the DMB, the diesel multiple units.
Yeah. Oh
the
no,
new one.
but you see, this one is not far-fetched. Lay ambush, arrest 1 or 2 or 3 of them. Yes.
No, I understand some people have been picked up actually.
But
That's the mentality.
Punish them. Punish them. Punish
What
them.
kind of
Once you
human
punish
being are you?
1 or 2 or 3, you see that there will be sanity.
But why, when the train arrives, didn't someone go to park a truck across?
Can you imagine?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Can you imagine? A
Yeah.
train like this.
And you recall how our food, stuff are locked up. So people have farmed. Okay, imagine we had, let's say, a rice mill in Accra.
Yeah.
All these glats that we are talking about and so
It
on.
would be a thing of the past.
Yeah, it would be a thing of the past. Because these Irani brothers, and they are able to process wheat.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, imagine we are able to talk to these guys to now do a rice, milling machine. We will be home and dry. Okay, but you need something to transport it from wherever it is to wherever the mill will be. You get it?
Yeah.
I mean, why are we struggling? Eric Opoku, who used to be very, vociferous in Parliament then. This is, I mean,
He's doing now. He's working.
he's working. Okay, thank you.
I think it looks
I
like,
want to believe so.
it looks like money matter. Yesterday he was on radio.
No. Opoku is
Yeah.
one person that you would always find him on the ground. He's either
So,
in
but
this
has it been
area.
to where the rice farmers are?
The glass.
Where the glats are?
Sometimes he
complaining
goes
like
there
that.
by himself. Sometimes
The
he
glat
goes.
is
They are
actually
complaining
nation
as
right
it
now.
comes.
Yeah.
See the glat.
The grain glat especially.
Yeah.
So all
And then there's supposed to be egg
the
glat.
north, Ashanti, Bono,
And there's a
then we have
them to open
Western.
the borders so that the buyers can come from outside to buy
To come and
those,
buy.
especially soya and all those.
I disagree.
But we are smuggling in
Somewhere
imported rice.
We sat in your studio on your MD, Professor Mess.
Yeah.
Sames made a strong advocacy for us to resort to local rice.
Yeah, we've actually run a Eat Ghana rice
Yes,
campaign.
and we sit here.
Yeah.
We are talking about rice glat. Go to the port now and check the containers.
Yeah.
The number of rice we have imported.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't get it. So simple policy. Agri ministry. Stop the importation of rice now and see if we all resort to consumption or not. Nigeria did it.
But you can't stop it when you don't have a mill that can quickly supply, mill and supply the quantity. You can't make that.
When COVID struck,
Yeah.
we had so much things to improvise. To the extent that nose masks were able to know that cloths could be used for nose masks.
Yeah, but we can't eat
So
the rice.
let- you see,
We
sometimes-
can't eat the rice with the
sometimes
husk.
you need dread policies. So.
I see, we can start from somewhere. How many schools do we have at the basic level, at the senior high level? At all stages, we are running a school feeding program.
Yeah. So you see, we are encouraging people to go into farming. Now they farm. No buyer. And then you get.
Anyways,
we are not eating.
Honorable, let me pick your thoughts on the helicopter crash report.
Okay, thank you so much. I think it's good that at long last we are getting some formal report on this. Before now, we used to have everybody saying one thing or the other. The pilot is not well trained. This is
conspiracy theories.
A lot of it.
There was even superstition in there somewhere.
But at least I think when this report comes, it will lay matters to rest. I just hope that we don't politicize the reports, as we are very much known for as Ghanaians. Anytime there's the issue of some of these tragedies, we try to play the blame game. And that's how come we are not able to move forward as a nation. This day, in fact, is the darkest day in our history. I remember that very day at 7:31, I had sent Mutara a message. I still have it, my chat with him, 7:31, where as education committee, we're having a retreat in Kofredia, and I needed some message delivered to him. I sent it to him at 7:31, and I was waiting for his response.
Never came.
It never came until we heard about this whole thing. So it has left a huge scar in our conscience, and I think what we should all be asking for is how quick we can implement the recommendations that will come with the report. As for the report, it can come, but is it going to be one of those reports that we will just put in the shelves to also start gathering dust? That is the unfortunate thing, because the airways is the aerospace is one area that you can't tour with. But there's hardly an accident with plane crash that you find people surviving. It's always rare, even if you have. But even sometimes
it happened in India.
That man, it's just so funny. And then he was. I don't know how that matter has ended.
That guy, he should explain himself to us.
We need
to get him for an exclusive.
He was granting interviews everywhere. And then how he saw the crew members dying in his face and all those things. But it's bad. But like Kamal-Deen said, for our planes, especially the aircrafts, is something we need to look at. Sometimes you sit in yesterday. I overheard this man, Siddiq Buhari. He talked about how they were returning on your program, footprints. Samen's program, yes.
Siddiq
Buhari, yes. He spoke about, he used to be a sportsman. He talked about how they were returning from one of these international competitions, and all of a sudden, everywhere in the plane there was water. I tell you, where the water was coming from, no one.
It's a showers of blessings.
So I think we
that will be a joke. I don't know.
You freeze.
And so for that area, we shouldn't joke with it. We should let the experts do their work. When the report comes, let's give it to a committee, and we should give timelines to the implementation of the recommendations.
Absolutely.
Yes. In fact, we should be very bipartisan.
Timelines,
and I like the way we all took the tragedy. In fact, both sides, MPP, NDC, we all saw it as a national tragedy, and we all mourned it big time. And I think that is the same approach we should use in when the report comes. We should approach it head on. Just recently, there was this issue of a question posed to the defense minister, and then the deputy was in parliament to answer some of the questions. In no time, it degenerated into partisan issues. And just
presidential jet matters.
Because, yes, presidential jet matters. And you saw a lot of hands in the air just trying to score political cheap points. And I was like, no, sometimes if we can help move the nation to the direction we want, especially as parliamentarians. And so it is my humble appeal that the president should not stop at just the release of the report. Implementation of the recommendations must be swift, and if need be, we should carry the nation along in those recommendations. And the commercial side too, like Kamal-Deen said, we shouldn't just limit it to this particular aircraft. But the commercial side is equal, because usually, in fact, when the crash even happened, a lot of people were thinking it was a commercial. Because that would have been even disastrous, more disastrous. But thank God, the commercial here will carry a lot of people, 100 people, 50, 60 people, right? So we should replicate the recommendations to the entire space, so that even commercial aircrafts are guided, and then we should be, like I said, non-partisan about these discussions.
Very well.
And once again, my condolences to the family, and then some of the I remember there was some support that was being sought for the children of the victims, and consistently they have been given updates on that. I pray we keep giving those updates so that at least we know that the children are not left behind. They are being catered for as we go along.
I want to take quick comments on.
So apparently the Civil Aviation Authority is a government regulatory, and that they are supposed to be responsible for air safety, security, and development.
Right.
And there's a whole act, covering their operation. You get it?
Yeah, for laws here, we have laws.
Oh, we have
plenty.
We have.
Let me take a quick comment on the GRA SML deal. SML now suing OSP over a seizure of their equipment. They're demanding somewhat $28 million in damages.
Yeah.
Quick thoughts. Our time is almost up. Just a brief comment.
For me, I think that it's the approach, by the OSP that has led to all this. You get it? When you had the man strike him, this whole thing has been overflowed. There was no need for this particular arrangement whatsoever. You get it? There was no need for it. It was totally needless. And last week we were here when I said that let's go into all the revenue assurance, mechanisms that we have created over the years. And we'll be shocked that these things, they are just avenues that have been created by politicians for their cronies to make money. Okay? By politicians to make money. And at the end of the day, the state is being denied whatever resources that are supposed to come to us by way of road construction, schools, water provision, and all the other things that we can think of. I mean, the president recently had that contract terminated. What was the arrangement between him and then the OSP?
The OSP.
Okay, before we came to that conclusion, what was the input by the Attorney General? I think that some of these things they have to issue statement that listen, A, B, C, D, E, F was the reason why this thing was terminated, so that we all keep that document in our armpit. Transparency.
I think it was based on the findings of the OSP. And the OSP is saying that genuinely there was no need for that contract.
Okay, but it shouldn't have even taken the OSP. The Attorney General should have made an input, in that regard. Fatawu, am I lying? Yes. The Attorney General is he holds the ultimate say in all this. Because this thing, I'm not sure it's OSP who will go to court to defend himself. It will take the Attorney General to...
They have now by their act they can
but the OSP has prosecutorial powers.
If you remember when NDC came to power not too long ago.
When we came, which was the week?
You see, the Attorney General made a pronouncement in the public domain about a Ghanaian company, Hoptel. Hoptel, right? And he sought to eulogize them, praise them for the work they have done and all that. But prior to
he proposed a toast.
Proposed even a toast. But prior to the elections, Hoptel was seen as
Baumia,
and seen as a company brought on board which was inimical to the growth of our economy by the same party. Why am I taking this angle? I am trying to juxtapose same to what SML has done. SML, I'm told, is a fully owned Ghanaian company. One Eduse is supposed to be very well, and all that. And my point here is, if the contract clearly points to issues that have happened to shorten Ghana, I am for you doing your proper investigation, looking at the terms of the contract, looking at where the short change is. If the law is supposed to hold them, let them hold it. But you see, this dilly-dally Today, SML says we have a point. Tomorrow, OSP says they don't have a point. Tomorrow, next, Attorney General or whoever is supposed to be a legal advisor is quiet about it. You don't really understand what is happening. The next day, President says, stop this contract. And the same company goes again to petition the president and say, look, you didn't listen to our side.
Yeah.
Are they petition the president?
Yes, they petition the president.
They said they sent documents
suggesting
that they have
but we
worked.
think that your decision is virus because you didn't listen to us. You see, so I'm driving it towards, we got to a point in this country when Wuyomi had to say, I had some judgment there to collect. Let's be careful the way we handle local businesses and the way we handle matters that will culminate into judgment debt tomorrow. You would have thought you did good for Ghana, but you actually didn't do good for Ghana. Right. Assuming this 28 million suit goes through, who suffers?
The state.
The state.
Okay, we
And
just
that's
had
you
we just had PDS
Also,
also made some claim that was thrown out. So they are in court.
no,
Yeah.
they may also go and
But resources will
they
be
may also
spent.
fail.
Oh yeah, I mean, whichever
So
way it
I'm
is.
trying to say that due diligence must be done and done well.
Right.
Everything ought to be done and done well. Look, the same people who were saying the SML is stingy or stingy are saying the OSP is also corrupt. Yes, I heard Martin Kwebu saying that one of the most corrupt people in this country is the OSP.
Oh, he said that.
Yes, openly, he said that. He said he said OSP is more corrupt than Ken Ofurata.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
People is on record to have said that. And these are people who, of course, also will cite that some of these contracts are shoddy. So what is in it? That's what I'm saying, that legally they should.
And the OSP hasn't said anything.
Yes, he's quiet about it. I've not heard anything speak.
Very well. Very well.
Anyway.
Let me hear from you.
I have issues with the Haptel thing.
You see?
And yes, I mean, I have never shied away from that. Haptel, it has no business, even under NDC, to be operating. What they've tried to do is, you are collecting this, let's cut it small and do this.
This is regarding the ECG.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
It is totally needless. It's an avenue that people have created.
And that's also revenue assurance.
But Larry, let's
MPP created to chop money. NDC guys are also chopping from it.
I'm not saying they should do the wrong thing, but let's encourage our Ghanaian businesses.
Very well.
The young
To
men
do the
must
right
come
thing.
up.
No,
To do the right thing. But these
Do the right
impositions, as you called it the other day, impositions, you cut state resources and insert yourself in there. I mean, come on.
Very well. Honorable, quick thoughts. SML, GRE, or OSP?
SMS, GRE deal. You see, we followed, the OSP came up to update Ghanaians on their investigation so far.
Is he your classmate too?
Oh, no, he's a senior.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, you see, in all the updates they give, they never spoke about any issue to do with the equipment they used. They spoke about the fact that that whole exercise was needless.
Yeah.
But it didn't save us any money.
No, they earlier talk about the equipment, how they had seized it.
Yeah, the seizure.
The seizure.
So
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I'll come to the seizure. But I'm just talking about, you see, before you seize an equipment, it must be related to the case you are conducting.
Okay. That they just use to actually cause.
You understand? That is why when, for instance,
That
people
causes
are
link.
involved in counterfeiting, you understand?
Yeah.
You need a machine.
Yeah.
You understand?
To stop it.
To stop it. But in this case, you are only saying that that contract was needless because what they came to do, the state agencies were already doing it, even in a better shape and form.
So why she's all the equipment?
Now, this equipment you are seizing can even create, like you are saying, the judgment debt. Because see, if I have my equipment as a private person, I can use it to do work for you, but I can use it to do work for Larry too.
Yeah.
I can use it to do work for Nana as well. So now, if you seize it, because I have issue with Kamal-Deen, now you are stopping me from making the monies I would have made from my dealings with Larry and from my dealings with him, which are not issues before the court.
Yeah.
So the issue of the equipment should not even come in at all.
We actually haven't put our minds to this.
So I don't know. He's going there to create a mess for Ghana, and I think the OSP must be stopped. This issue of seizing the equipment, you can make your case as long as you are not alleging that they are using the equipment for any illegality. The only time you because we seize it as an exhibit in court to use to booster our evidence. You understand? But here, there is, you have presented, unless what the pressure he had, there was something in it that he didn't share with us. But if we are all to go by the pressure he had, then there should be no need in going ahead to seize any equipment, because it can lead us to serious consequences. You understand? And so, to me, the AG has come in, because at the end of the day, if there is a judgment that we have to bear it. You understand? We shouldn't just say it is left to him. Kamal-Deen talked about the issue of the HAPTEL, and look, the HAPTEL deal, the way NDC chastised it, the position has still been the same.
Oh, but the Attorney General says that
I'm coming. You know what happened when we came?
No. Briefly, our time is up.
Even though the HAPTEL is still in the process of providing the same services they were providing, they are not providing at 50% of the fee they used to charge. And they are still making money. In fact, when the government came, the government told them that this charge was so astronomical. We can offer you this. You either take it or you walk away. Can you believe they are doing that? They have taken it and they are still making profit on it.
Okay. Very well.
You understand? And so still they were saving money for
that's renegotiation. Why is that a crime? That's renegotiation.
But it's a job that ECG was already doing.
Exactly.
The app that they got.
And are you paying them
they
whatever additional value they are bringing, or we are paying them on the total one is generated?
The app that they are
for another day.
Was an app that belongs to ECG.
This has been the news review segment here on Breakfast Daily. Please don't go away. The show continues with Philip and Chris.